God calls us to be builders, not in the sense of building buildings, not of cars and not even of Lego, but we are called to be kingdom builders. And that means that rather than being a wrecking ball in society, we are called to be constructive. Shalom is an important word in the Jewish language. In one sense, it could be simply translated as the word peace, but really there's so much more to the word. It means a sense of wholeness and well-being that's done in tandem between God, us, and the others around us. There's a sense of fulfillment not just in our own lives, but in those we encounter in our community. Jesus told his followers that they were to be shalom makers. And like many of the other Beatitudes, this is not something that we should view as passive. Far from it. Being a peacemaker does not mean that we look at what's going on in our world and in the lives of our community and think that we simply have to plaster over huge cracks in people's relationships. If we are to make peace and find shalom for us and the others around us, then sometimes we have to have those hard conversations. It means that actually we cannot be conflict averse, but that we enter into those conversations with the right outcome in mind. That when all is said and done, the well-being of each party and our community is allowed to flourish. And this is perhaps contrary to our own world's view of conflict at the moment. When we see conflict in the world, it's normally to get one over on someone else or to obtain something through the use of attrition. The world's view of conflict is normally concerned with self-gratification. If we are to be peacemakers, then our focus is outward-looking and for the betterment of everyone else. Sometimes it means addressing our own situations, and sometimes it means that as a priestly people, as is written in 1 Peter, that we stand in the middle of two parties to bring them to peace. However, leading a distinctive life and one that encompasses both this and the other Beatitudes may mean that we stand out a bit when we try to do this. That we may come across maybe sometimes as subversive to people or odd. It may mean some form of persecution. And there are obviously some of our brothers and sisters in lands where this is more extreme, but we won't be immune to persecution full stop in our own land. If we are going to stand up for the kingdom of God, then there will be people and perhaps forces that stand against us. However, we shouldn't miss the point here either. We shouldn't be deliberately trying to rile up people for the sake of it, to stand out and be persecuted just so that we can be persecuted. We need to be sensitive and caring in how we approach standing up for what's right. And we must always remember that as Christians, we are ambassadors for Christ. But if we are going to build the kingdom of God, if we are going to be those construction workers, then let's be a people who learn to lay the bricks of righteousness. Not for our own sake, not so that we can build what we think is perfect, but so that the world knows the good news of Jesus Christ. That the world knows that the ultimate peacemaker is actually God himself in Jesus Christ. And if we learn to do that, then we truly learn to worship.